Hello guys, Nightspectre here, bringing you another League of Legends cast 0 minutes into the game as always, so let's go over the teams quickly, shall we, as I am rearranging just a little bit. Let's go for blue team first. As you can see right about now, well, they're all together for now, but I am focusing on the Kassadin for now. He will be in the middle, which is usual the place where you'll find a Kassadin, as my final rearrangements are now into consideration. A Graves, who is now standing in the middle, will probably be the AD carry for blue team. Will be supported by a Zyra, who is getting a new skin for Halloween, so that will be quite nice. Always wanted a Zyra skin, to be honest, but I'm not that good with her, though I do tend to play support with her if I do play her, and she's fun to play. Oh my, this could be wrong for Ezreal over here. He's going to find himself an Aatrox jumping on top of him. He's so low already, they're not flashing for him. Pantheon is now there to keep them safe, as well as the rest of red team. So nothing will happen. Kassadin is going in deep though. But he can. Why shouldn't he? Actually, this is the perfect timing for red team. But Kassadin is going all by himself. Red team's throwing down a ward, so they will be safe. And no one should die here. Unless, of course, Thresh is able to grab someone with his death sentence, but he leveled up his Dark Passage in order to save his buddy. So then let's go over the teams a little bit more. So we have Aatrox, who will be jungling, but they are still invading here. And then top lane will be a Zac, as the invade still continues. They do have a ward here as well. I don't know whether or not red team knows this. We'll see how it goes. So, as you can see, Thresh will be supporting the Ezreal, who is now returning into lane. He almost died earlier on in the game. He had to flash away, but he did not use his barrier. Keep that in mind. Jungler will be Pantheon, who is already rearranging himself. But guess what's going to happen, Pantheon? You're going to die. He gets rooted, grasping roots land, so does the Dark Flight from the Xerath, and that will be first blood for Kassadin even. Is it over yet? Exhaust going down on Pantheon. He wants to flash over the wall, but he won't succeed. Blue buff has been stolen by Aatrox. A splendid invade by blue team. This will be quite hard for red team to cope with. As you can see, red team, they have a Renekton, which is fine to have, I suppose. And then in the middle, they'll have a Gragas, who was already down in the middle. He was not there to save his friends or to assist with the blue, which might have helped, but I don't believe it would have. Well, he couldn't have gone into the jungle because it was too dangerous anyway. He would have gotten caught by the 4 players of blue team who were standing there just to ambush everyone that would go in from the side, which was certainly something Gragas would have done if he were to assist. Thank God for Gragas that it is a Kassadin he is playing. They tend to not be too aggressive early on in the game, as the dynamic camera says. No, Nightspectre. The fun is up on top. That might be the case, but they will regen for the eternity of the fight, so I don't think there'll be a lot of action going down on top. Or will there be? Well, Zac is already pretty low, and, well, Kassadin finds himself a big belly into his face, but other than that, it will be fine. Greg is actually out-leveling the Kassadin for now, but thank God the Null Sphere will make it so that he can't pop his barrels. Now again, Renekton going in aggressive onto the Zac here. He tries to catch all of the bloblets as possible, and it is working, so he's regenerating quite well. Keep in mind though that the fury of Renekton is rather high. Graves using a buckshot onto the face. Oh, something is going to happen on top though. Pantheon is already approaching. Renekton with the Ruthless Predator is able to stun the Zac. He will of course use his Holistic Slingshot to sling away, and he'll be fine for another day. Graves still pushing, grasping roots, barely missing the Thresh player there, but they are in a predicament. Bottom lane's team is for red team, of course. Look at how low they are. They are a level behind as well. Well, Thresh is a level ahead onto the Zyra, and Graves is a level ahead onto the Ezreal, which is not a thing you want. You want the AD carry to have the most experience. Renekton now flashing away out of town, going to get hit by the Elastic Slingshot and will die in the process. So great play by Zac. Didn't thought he had it in him, but apparently he regen more than enough to survive. Aatrox with going to Dark Flight, flash onto the Gragas, who is slowed, of course. The red buff will continuously stack onto the Gragas, but Pantheon is now there for the assistant, but a flash over the wall by Kassadin will give him the kill, and now they're going on onto the Pantheon. Dark Flight once more will knock him up and give a quick kill to the Aatrox player. Blue team is so far ahead already in this game, and we're only 5 minutes into it. It's a 2,500 gold lead. It's quite horrendous, really. The jungler has been shut down twice for now, losing his buff both times, because Pantheon still had his red buff. It was his sole graze that he still had, and now it's back into the hands of Aatrox. So not only does Aatrox have his blue buff, he now also has his red buff, which will look great for Aatrox. He's now doing some extensive damage onto the middle turret. It won't work though. Gragas, of course, with the clear, using his barrel roll. He at least listens to the donkey, what can I say? Another grasping roots landing, but it won't be too much of a difference, really. The gold lead isn't increasing, so this is looking quite well, of course. It's only 40 seconds later. We'll see what happens, really. Well, this isn't good. Ezreal trying to bait it out with what I believe to... Oh no, Darkflight once more. Aatrox gets dodged though, but you ain't drinking, Gragas. He gets silenced. That's pretty bad, because the Drunken Rage, it gives you a lot... Wait, he disconnected but is able to use Arcane Shift? Oh. Well, it's good for blue team that they didn't attack the Ezreal, I must say. Ooh, Pantheon with a weird stunning majiggy, negating the Darkflight a little bit there. But it won't be enough. Oh my god, Blades of Torment, it might have been enough. But for now, we're going top, where there's a Zac trying to be aggressive onto Renekton once more. He's regenning more than enough. He is holding out quite well. And the reason why is because he bought a Chain Vest. So he is able to sustain for quite a long time. Other items. Oh, actually, you're on the wrong side here. Fixed it. Renekton, on the other hand, hasn't bought anything significant yet. Of course, he didn't have a kill earlier on, so let's see what the money difference is between these two. It's equal, so he has no excuse. He's just sitting on more gold, I suppose. Which is correct. Oh, did he use Ruthless Predator? Well, now he did. He's going to do some damage, but keep in mind, Zac still has his Cell Division, so he might just be able to survive, even if Renekton is able to kill him. And that's a big if, because Renekton couldn't kill him earlier on in the game. And I must say that Renektons tend to be quite strong early on in the games. Oh my, Kassadin almost getting hit by the barrel roll there. And now an ultimate going down by Gragas onto him. Is he going to survive? He flashes over the wall with the Rift Walk, and well, the Ignite wasn't enough. In the end, it will be the collateral damage by Graves getting the kill, so that explains why the dynamic camera had no interest whatsoever, but Graves is tanking the turret for far too long. He will use a barrier and then flash away. Ezreal doesn't have the mana, but he does have enough for one more Mystic Shot. Zyra, however, with the long auto attack range, will quickly make work of that Ezreal player. But hey, at the very least, he got a Graves out of it, which is probably the best situation, tending, well, they were quite far behind, to be honest. Graves has 61 minion kills and Ezreal only has 38. It's not good. It's not a lot. At least the Renekton is out farming the Zac player for now. However, well, it will mostly remain that way until one of the two will leave the lane. And that will probably happen when one of their turrets falls. So it depends. It will be the jungler actually that will need to do something about it, because else this lane will just continue to be a farm lane. As you can see right about now, oh, Zac going a little bit aggressive there is going to get Ruthless Predatored, but Renekton is unable to return the damage. And it's because of the items, really. A Chain Vest is just too much for a Renekton without any big offensive items to get through. So I think he's going to recall, yes, he is. Oh, be careful, plans will not land. The Grasping Root barely missing there onto the Thresh. Was able to dodge it, but it was very dangerous. Oh, and now the Aatrox is again going to try and increase his lead once more. Kassadin is even close by, but they know where the Pantheon was. He just showed his face into the middle. Ezreal able to escape, and a red buff now given to Aatrox. He even stole the blue buff, I believe, because, well, he's running with blue, and their blue is still here. So, yeah, he even stole blue, so all the major buffs have now been stolen. Pantheon trying to reduce the damage there by taking the blue buff for himself, and it will work, I must say, because, of course, while bottom lane is too busy pushing bot, they'll get a tower out of it, which is great. Ezreal running away with the Dark Passage there, but it's a bottom turret destroyed, the first one in the game for blue team. Pantheon able to steal the red buff. Will he clear the minion? He probably should. There's no reason to let it live, because he'll need to use that red to steal every day, all days. Ezreal being taken low, a nice death sentence there, but the ult missing, and he stands on top of the Strangletorn. That's a little bit of a misplay there, but it's not over yet. Graves wants a kill, and he finally gets one. Zyra, you've been taking too many kills. Will Gragas be able to body slam through this wall? He flashes through it, misses the ult though, but I think a body slam with a barrel roll is more than enough. Pantheon is now in the fray, will stun up the Zyra quite nicely. The slows are too much. Kassadin is there, however, for the support. Will again negate the drinking of his drunken rage. Will Aatrox be able to get the kill? I'm pretty sure the Kassadin will, and it will be an Aatrox and Kassadin kill supreme for blue team. And then you only have Renekton left with the Zac. And Zac actually wants to go in hard. Already used his Holistic Slingshot, which is basically his escape. Renekton is going to use Ruthless Predator combined with Epike to try to do as much damage as possible. But it won't be enough. As long as Zac keeps catching his bloblets, he will survive. The Fury, however, is high for Renekton. Let bounce Renekton. And Renekton says, I dominated bouncing with my Dominus. But he is able to flash away, so he would have died, really. Zac too far ahead, now also has a Giant's Belt. Renekton thinking, well, I'll go for Giant's Belt as well. Won't work if your enemy has a Chain Vest as well. So yeah, it's obvious that the Zac is ahead, and Renekton notices this, so he buys another Doran's Blade. I'm not too sure whether or not that's the wisest of decision, but if he needs it to win his lane, then why not? Ooh, those barrels didn't really hurt. Gragas is in a bad position if he only has 2 Doran's Rings for now. He does have some boots, but if you compare it to the items that Kassadin is able to buy, given that he actually needs a lot of mana items or else his Rift Walks gets too expensive, almost a steal coming through by the Ezreal there is going to use Dark Passage to get in another position. Gragas is now in a bad one, will dodge away far enough for the silence to not take that huge of an effect, using the Explosive Casket to get away, followed up by another Body Slam for today. Now it's Ezreal and Thresh in a quite bad predicament. Keep in mind Aatrox still has his blood well active, so he can also survive. Both Zac and Aatrox in one game is quite bothersome to deal with. Oh, Kassadin with the aggressive Rift Walk. Keep in mind Pantheon is close by and he has his Grand Skyfall, so he can use it if needed. And well, Zac is actually pretty low. Keep in mind he didn't go back, but maybe that extra Doran's Blade is working out for Renekton. We'll see. He wants to give it a go, but nope, the regen is just a little bit too much. I don't think Zac will care. Renekton can try to do as much damage as possible, but I don't think he'll care. Clearing out the minions so that the Renekton can't even do that much damage onto the turret. Yep, I said it before, it will be the need of one of their teammates to destroy a top turret, because they're both too sustainy to get each other out of lane unless they go all in for each other, which Zac is trying to bait out. Keep in mind Aatrox is going closer. A nice little slice and dice away though by Renekton, but it won't be enough. Let's Bounce is now in commencing, and I don't think Renekton will be able to survive this. He did use his flash earlier, as I lost one of my earplugs. Oh my god, my earplugs. It will be fine, I'll survive. Pantheon now trying to protect the middle tower. Strangletorn being used at Kassadin whiffs from over the wall. Renekton, Gragas barely surviving. He stayed alive for quite a long time, but it won't be enough. Graves was able to escape, and it will be 2 kills for blue team once more. It's 14-3, and all the outer turrets are now being destroyed by blue team. So they just take their snowballs and just throw it off Mount Himalaya, I think. Well, Mount Everest is what I wanted to say. And then just make it become bigger and bigger through its own speed and gravity. At least bottom lane tries to make it turn around a little bit, destroying their first tower into the game for red team. But, well, Kassadin thinks, well, fine, if you're just going to continue pushing bottom lane, I'll try and do as much damage onto this very important tower here in the middle. Because if you can destroy that one, then you have pretty much full jungle control over your enemy team. And maybe even Aatrox wants to do some extra more damage there. Of course, the minions are now that, but I don't think Aatrox cares all that much. They still have time, really. Gragas is too far away. They might be able to do enough damage now. Aatrox, of course, very good at clearing towers. He did not use the Massacre, because for now it's still on cooldown. But if he would pop Massacre, he can even destroy it quicker. So he's quite a scary individual. Well now, almost a 10,000 gold lead for blue team, and we're only 14 minutes and 30 seconds into the game. It's terrifying. Ezreal going to check. Did he steal it? He stole it! Nice play there, Ezreal. Gragas now with the explosive casket tries to get a kill, but he just got massacred in the face. Buckshot being used by Graves. Will he be able to get the kill? He is going to shoot some smoke screen, but that won't be enough. Ignite been used onto Aatrox, but he could still survive, so he didn't get scared all that quickly. Though, oh, a nice grasping roots there coming down from Zyra, and that's a lot of damage coming through by just her. And she doesn't have that much of offensive items. Aatrox almost dying, will get hit by the Mystic Shot. He was able to Dark Flight though. Dark Path, I mean Dark Flight. Will he be enough? Ezreal going in hard, shuts down the Aatrox, but in return gives a kill to the Graves. And at all that time, the Renekton, Zac and Zyra are able to do tremendous amounts of damage onto the middle inhibited tower, which is not something you want. The inhibitor destroyed, well, the tower destroyed at only 15 minutes. You wouldn't want that. And now, boom, goes the Thresh. He gets blown up to pieces. This is bad. Red team needs to move in here all together at once. But you have Pantheon pushing top. They'll lose the turret like this. You don't want that. Gragas still doesn't have his ultimate, so he can't really force clear a wave. He doesn't have enough ability power to maybe fully clear a wave at that either, though. That will be the turret. And they might even get a second one at that. Kassadin, Rift walks away, but they are going for this inhibitor turret. 60 minutes into the game, the first inhibitor turret. They could just continue pushing on. Pantheon is lane cutting. He's just farming in between turrets. He is now finally going to recall though. He hasn't used his Grand Skyfall at all in this game. Not that I can blame him, because he must feel pretty broken. Oh, that's a big shot coming through by Gragas. If they want to engage, they could. This would be the perfect time for Red Team to engage, because Blue Team is relatively low at all fronts. The Zac going in though, going for the Let's Bounce. Is he able to survive? Well, he's just continuously going to go in deep. A great grasping roots onto the Ezreal. He will get downed, and now Blue Team is on the run. Pantheon, he could get someone with, yes indeed, the Aegis of Zhonya's is able to stun the Zyra, but there was no one there. Thresh, of course, will have Death Sentence ready, but now Aatrox going in with the Massacre, gets one. Will he get a second? Nope, it gets stolen by Graves, but it's not over yet. A Rift Walker is going near you. The Blaze of Torment just barely missing the Thresh there, but there is no escape. He'll try to, oh my, he almost had this wolf over here. And he could escape using the plants of Zyra as well, so it was a good idea. Too bad Kassadin was there as well, so... Well, Blue Team now going to destroy the second inhibitor turret of the game. There's no stopping them really. This Aatrox is too much of a pain. Already has a Blade of the Ruined King and a BF sword, so there's not much you can do about him, really. Well, Kassadin is low on mana, so again, if they want to do it, now is the time, but I said it earlier, and they still didn't succeed in getting a kill, so Aatrox just going in hard, will try to regen as much as possible, but guess what? That's what an Ignite is for. Ignite going down onto Ezreal as well, but Kassadin doesn't have mana, so instead he tries to flash away. He dodged the Mystic Shot, but Ezreal is going for the continuous chase. Had barely enough mana for one Riftwalk, and that will make it so that he will survive. Pantheon tries to go in hard, but he will flash over the grasping roots of Zyra, gets the kill, gets knocked up by the Strangled Thorns, but it was a nice flash regardless. Thresh now in a very bad position. Graves is there coming to get you, and there is no blue buff to escape, young man. Well, he could be over 50. How could I know? So then, that was quite eventful. But more eventful for Blue Team. I don't think Zac really cares now at this point. He is quite strong, don't get me wrong. He's even going for a hunting, guys, which is always an item that you... It's great on Zac. It's a very great penetration, which works quite well on Zac. Oh, Graves in a bad position, gets hit by the True Shot Barrage. Now Zyra in a bad position, gets critted by Ezreal, and will get killed by the Gragas. And now we have Zac going in all crazy. Keep in mind, he has a lot of spell penetration, so he can do some damages at this point of the game. But Aatrox has now arrived. Blades of Torment barely missing the Ezreal, though. He will survive, gets stunned up, will get ignited once more, so his regen is no more. But Bloodwell was just barely off cooldown, so he was able to survive. Body Slam might kill him though, but instead it will be just an auto attack from Thresh. And that will be the cleanup. Pop goes the Bloblets, and who will get the kill? I hope it will be Ezreal, but who am I? It will be Pantheon with the smite kill. Well, in a way, Ezreal did manage to get quite some kills already, and well, Pantheon, if he's ahead, if a Pantheon is ahead, he's so terrifying, so he could use the money. Why wouldn't he? Kassadin, however, ignoring the team fights for now, wants to go for an objective-based game, which gives you a lot of certainty. They don't want to finish it yet, apparently, and if Kassadin is able to destroy the final inhibitor tower, well, Renekton puts a straw in between it. If that is an expression. Probably not. He puts a straw in between it. What are you talking about, Nightspectre? I don't know. I don't know your idioms. Well, then you're an idiot. So then, an early Baron. Well, early per se, it's 20 minutes. He's been alive for 5. But yeah, the surrender goes down for red team. So you won't even be able to get this Baron. I told you, you were too early. Or too late. And boom goes the Pantheon, destroys his own Nexus with a Grand Skyfall. So guys, this was a short game. It snowballed out of control quickly thanks to a good invade. So even though personally I find invades to be a double-edged sword, it could work out, and if it works out, great. You shut down a jungler and you probably will win the game. However, if it fails, you'll lose time in your lane and maybe gets killed in the process, and then it's not worth it. So in the end, it worked out for blue team, so GG to them. So guys, again, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Whatever it is I'll do, whenever it is I'll do it. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.